Oh, what the
And it was so boring.
Is that what I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
I hate them!
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That was so awful. You can't handle the truth!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of See It, Stream It, Skip It, the movie podcast associated with Metro News about all the movies playing in the theaters and if they are worth your time. I'm Ethan Collins, along with my co-host Celeste Ellis.
Hello.
So, I don't want to waste any time. Should we just get into the mystery movie?
Let's go for it.
All right, we're going to roll the trailer.
I am looking at you, and I am listening to your spirit, and I am sensing that something is on your mind. Am I correct?
Oh my God, how did you know that?
It is my business to know.
I'm engaged to be married, and I really, really love my fiancé Tom, but something happened, and I don't know what to do.
Let me connect with this. You each had an agreement, yes? To be able to have sex with a certain celebrity given the opportunity.
Yes, exactly.
And Tom went too far in the back of a bookstore.
Yes, wow. So what do I do?
If you are going to continue your relationship with Tom, you must have sex with your celebrity crush.
So if I want to repair my relationship with Tom,
You must have sex with John Hamm.
Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass, directed by David Wayne and starring Zoe Dutch, John Slattery, Ben Wong, Ken Marino, and Miles Gutierrez Riley. A Midwestern bride-to-be, Gail Daughtry, has a celebrity hall pass agreement with her fiancé, who uses it. Their relationship is in crisis, and Gail sets on an epic journey through Hollywood to even the scales. This movie is wild beyond proportions.
It's really silly, and I say that sort of as a compliment. We've watched a lot of movies, especially lately, that have been really, really serious or scary. So I was kind of delighted to see a comedy.
Yeah, this was a comedy that we saw a trailer for and were crossing our fingers hoping this would be the mystery movie that we were seeing. And sure enough, it was. It actually comes out next week, so we're actually getting you a little bit of a small preview before the release date. I actually feel like a movie reviewer.
Yeah, you're getting the inside scoop before you have a chance to see it.
So it should be mentioned before we get into kind of the in-depth of this that this movie is very rated R.
Extremely for language and for the content. It's a very adult rated R movie. So this isn't something that you want to take your kids to.
Or even teenagers.
Yeah,
too.
and it may even be uncomfortable to watch with your children, even if they're adults. But I think it's a good time if you can get past some of the awkward secondhand embarrassment stuff. I think it's a really fun movie to watch.
I would put this kind of in the same boat as the raunchy comedies like Superbad or maybe even Hangover or something like that.
It's much sillier. This
Yes.
one feels almost like it's making fun of itself at the same time. So I think it has a little bit of a lighter kind of whimsical feel to it rather than a Superbad, which is really set in reality. This is very much set in some sort of alternate universe. Should we reveal the overall structure of the film?
Yes,
and
I think it brings to the point because I think it you find yourself going, wait a minute. I didn't even realize it until probably 90% of the way through the film, and I feel dumb for not realizing it.
So this is a Wizard of Oz allegory. So the main protagonist, her name is Gale Daughtry, so Dorothy Gale, and she encounters along her journey to find John Hamm 3 characters who are comparative to the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion. And it's sort of hilarious how they make it all work and how they're sort of parodying Wicked in a way, but kind of, I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah. So first off, I want to get into Zoe Dutch because, and we only have about 4 minutes to do this, but we'll get into the casting a little bit. But I've never really knew because I feel like people either love her or they hate her. Zoe Dutch, your opinion on her?
I think she's underrated. I think she could do a lot more than she does. I think she has a really good comedic timing. I think she's a good actress. She's been sort of sidelined, I think, in smaller roles. So I'm glad that she finally got something that she can star in. At the same time as this is coming out, she's also starring in a romantic dramedy, I think, on Netflix. So she's kind of getting a big moment right now.
Do you want to reveal what each cast member is in as opposed to the Wizard of Oz, or do you just want to hold that?
I think that's something that you'll figure out on your own. We don't need to go into it. If you just think about it as a Wizard of Oz allegory, I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
And it's very silly. It's very ridiculous. It's very over the top, almost to the point that it feels a little satirical of the normal kind of rom-com premise. But I really liked this one.
So I'll go over each of the characters and what they do for a living. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. So Ben Wong, he is a front desk guy at a acting agency. Is that kind of right? A receptionist.
He's a very low level person at a talent agency.
And then Kim Marino is a paparazzi photographer.
Very down and out paparazzi.
Miles Gutierrez Riley is probably the second most used character in this movie, and he plays Zoe Dutch's best friend, but he also has kind of a tie to the Wizard of Oz thing. You'll get to that when you hear his character's name. But and then John Slattery plays himself.
A very, very funny version of himself. He is by far my favorite part of this whole thing. I think without John Slattery willing to really debase himself, this doesn't work.
And then there's just a whole list of celebrities that make cameos in this movie.
Cameo after cameo. Like, you'll recognize every side character that's in this.
Like, Richard Kind is in this. I won't get in too much into celebrities, but Richard Kind is in this. Weird Al Yankovic makes a funny appearance in this movie.
Yeah, it's like they just keep making it more and more unrealistic as the movie goes on. And so they just keep adding more and more weird celebrities into this.
So with that being said, we'll get into the final minute here. Would you see this? Would you stream this? Or would you skip this?
So I think I'm going to say see it.
Okay.
Only because we get so few opportunities to see comedies in the theaters now. Good comedies. Well, honestly, even a bad comedy, there aren't that many. There are not a lot of comedies that get released just because they're not as bankable as a horror movie, which you can make on a really low budget. So they just don't make it in the theaters very often. So while you have the chance to see a comedy, I think you should go see this.
I think I'm going to say see it as well. It was a fun time. And, you know, we're in a heat wave right now. If you want to sit in a cold theater, eat some popcorn, and laugh a little, this is a good movie for you.
Right. This is a lot more lighthearted than the fare that we've been seeing lately. It has felt like it's just horror movie after horror movie. So this is a nice break.
All right. We'll be back with Supergirl after this.
Here's the thing. My cousin and I have very different ideas about what it means to be a hero. He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
The brigands brought destruction to every corner of the universe, of the galaxy. Must be defended.
You cannot give up on me.
Now it's a party.
Oh, that might be a problem.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
I'm going to tell you something. Only one of you is going to make it out alive.
We haven't been formally introduced.
Supergirl, directed by Craig Gillespie and starring Millie Alcock, Eve Ridley, Matthias Schoenhardt, and Jason Momoa. When an unexpected, ruthless adversary strikes too close to home, Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, reluctantly joins forces with an unlikely companion on an epic interstellar journey of vengeance and justice. Pretty good description. Mm-hmm. I actually tried to know as little about this plot as possible. However, I did have the unfortunate experience of reading some reviews before we went out and saw this movie. And to tell you the truth, I'm really unfortunately upset that I did, because this just brings to the point to where you shouldn't be listening to a whole bunch of high-profile, high-magazine movie critics with big publications. You should just be listening to us, because we keep it real here on See It, Stream It, Skip It. And I'm here to tell you...
unfiltered opinions.
I'm here to tell you this movie is not bad. It is good. It is a good movie. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's a good movie. I like this more than Superman.
I also really liked this movie. It is a superhero movie. I feel like it's exactly what you want out of a superhero movie. It's a lot of action. It's a very likable character in Kara. I think she's a little bit of a dirtbag in a way that I thought was really fun and refreshing to see. She kind of gives you a Star-Lord, but a little bit more savvy kind of character. So I thought this was a fun watch. I disagree with all the criticism that she is unwatchable. I think Millie Alcock does a great job. She really pulls you into the character. And the other main character in this, I don't know the actress's name.
Eve Ridley.
She's fantastic. I thought she was really the heart of the movie. All of that positive being said, I do have one big criticism with this film.
Well, we'll get to that in just a second. I want to get to the positives first, and then we'll kind of wrap up here with the closings of this. Yeah, the reviews basically said that Millie Alcock is the only thing that's good about this movie. They said the plot was bad. Eve Ridley, which is played by a character named Ruthie. There's no spoiler here. She doesn't play like a famous soon-to-be superhero or anything like that. She's just a side character. And a lot of criticisms went with Matthias Schoenhardt, who plays the villain Krem. They said he's weak and unlikable. Yeah, he's unlikable because he's a villain and he's a horrible person. I don't understand what people are complaining about on that. I didn't think he was necessarily weak. I thought he was savagely resourceful.
Right.
With the things that are dealt with him, but he is an absolutely horrible person.
Yeah, he's formidable, though. I don't think there's any portion where you're like, he's not going to take down anyone. I think he's a scary villain. He's not, I guess in this modern superhero era, we see a lot of redeemable villains. He isn't that. He is a straight up bad guy. He does not do anything that makes you pulled to his side. He's just bad. And I kind of liked that. It was a little bit refreshing.
And Jason Momoa plays the anti-hero Lobo, which a lot of people were excited about. I personally myself know nothing about that character. I know I'm a huge comic book nerd, and it's probably shocking from your perspective, Celeste, to hear that I know nothing about a character, Lobo. I just know he's a big guy, throws a whipping chain around, and rides a motorcycle. He's like DC's Ghost Rider. I thought he did fine there.
Yeah, he's not super prominent in the movie. He's much more of like a cameo kind of character, but I think he does a good job. He is doing what I think the character is meant to do, which is a little bit of levity. He's pretty funny. I liked that character. I thought it was a fine addition. The main thing that I think is great is the relationship between the two female protagonists, because it's like a really great, you're seeing someone mentor someone in the way that they wish they could have been mentored. So you're seeing like a very big sister kind of relationship play out, and I think they have really good chemistry, the two actresses.
Not to mention also, I think one thing that I really liked about this movie was how all the aliens looked and how this alien universe kind of looks good.
There's a lot of fun character design on the aliens. We haven't seen a lot of that. I would say it's like Star Wars level of you see a lot of different fun-looking aliens.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy sort of perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, give your one complaint, because I completely agree with you, but you're the one that pointed it out to me, so I'll let you go ahead.
So I really like this movie. It was enjoyable to watch. The one thing that I think it does get wrong, Crypto is a huge character in this movie, and Crypto looks really bad. Crypto is a dog. They should have used a puppet. They used CGI, and he looks very CGI. It almost takes you out of the story a little because the animation on the dog does look very bad. And I think that's it coming at a bad time because we just saw a movie with a puppet who was the best part of the movie in The Mandalorian and Grogu. And I think they should have used a similar technology for Crypto because it just doesn't look right. A lot of the CGI in this kind of hits wrong for me. I don't have any complaints about the story or the overall vibe of the movie. I just think the CGI could have been a lot better.
Yeah, especially for a budget as high profile and all this stuff. But we've been seeing this a lot with superhero movies. That the special effects have been getting a lot of complaints. All right, 1 minute to wrap this up here. Would you see this? Would you stream this? Or would you skip this?
This is a see it for me. I think it's good enough to see in the theaters. And I also think since the CGI is not good, the best that this movie is going to look, the best that it's going to be is in a theater where you can see it on a large screen with good graphics. So see it in theaters. I think it's going to be the best experience for this movie.
Or you can take our advice, James Gunn, and listen to our one complaint that we had on this movie. Go back and retool, refine the CGI effects, come out with it on HBO Max, and it'll look a lot better.
Honestly, I would love if they could fix Crypto by the time this comes out on streaming.
I'm starting to not like Crypto, and I hate that because I'm such a dog guy, but the dog is so misbehaved, and it constantly gets into trouble, and it's just... I'm to the point to where it can't happen anymore. Okay, we gotta wrap
Krypto's
this
gotta
up.
go to like obedience training and be a good dog from here on out, or at least a semi-good dog. I do love a goofy, mischievous dog as an owner of one myself, but I need this dog to be a little bit better, and I need him to look a little more realistic.
All right, we'll wrap things up here in just a sec. Wrapping things up here on episode 9 of See It, Stream It, Skip It. And I would not be remiss if I didn't do something because it is somebody's birthday. It's someone's birthday. Happy birthday, Celeste.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We won't tell anybody your age. I know you're feeling a little bit bad about it, so we won't tell anybody about that. Don't worry. I feel bad about my age, too. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So wrapping things up here, this is normally where we promote our next week's episode. I'm just going to keep it short and simple.
Not a lot coming out next week.
So Minions is pretty much the only real box office hit that's coming out next week. And I guess we're also going to see Young Washington as well because there's no mystery movie. But I'll tell you what, if they somehow do put a mystery movie out there, we will go and see that.
Right. I love seeing a mystery movie for the purposes of this podcast and also just for me as a person.
All right. So 3 minutes to wrap this up here and talk about our bonus episodes. If you want to check out our bonus episodes online only, wherever you get your podcast, that's See It, Stream It, Skip It. We talk about our top 5 Steven Spielberg movies for the month of June, and I highly recommend it because we get way too deep into our favorite Steven Spielberg movies because he has such a good directorial collection, not to mention the fact of his producing credits as well.
And spoiler alert, one of the movies that we talk about is very pertinent to the time right now.
Absolutely. And this month, because it's in the month of July now, we're going to be promoting our bonus episode of this month, which is Christopher Nolan's top 5 movies, in our opinion.
Yep.
So that's, of course, with the new Odyssey movie coming out as well. So be sure to check those out wherever you get your podcast at See It, Stream It, Skip It. I'm trying to think of August, we're probably going to do horror movies, like the new direction of horror movies. Is that what we talked about?
I think we should do a wrap-up of all of these horror movies that have been coming out and do a little more in-depth review of those.
Maybe we'll have a guest.
Maybe.
So do that as well. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. We'll definitely do in December when Doomsday comes out, our favorite Marvel MCU movies. I'm going to strictly push it to MCU movies. So no Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, no...
Well, there's my number one gone.
No Chris Evans in Human Torch, a Fantastic Four.
He's calling me out on specific movies that he knows that I love.
X-Men. X-Men would probably be in my top 5. And ironically, this is going to be the introduction of mutants. All right, 50 seconds to wrap this up. Any final thoughts? Sorry for putting you on the spot for your birthday.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Looking forward to a new year.
Yeah.
Full of movies.
Full of movies. Looking to break your record of, what was it again? How many movies?
66 last year, I think.
Well, we're definitely probably breaking that because we're doing 2 movies a week for this entire summer. So that's going to be at least 40 right there, and then we're seeing 1 movie a week after that. That's the programming note. After the summer blockbuster, I always say Memorial Day to Labor Day is where the summer starts and ends. So we'll be back with episode 10 of See It, Stream It, Skip It. Thanks for listening, everyone.